Hello everybody and welcome back down the creek. So today I'm going to be taking my boat out for the first time in the spring. We're not going to really be doing any fishing. We're just going to be checking to make sure that the motor is repaired correctly and that it runs the way it's supposed to. And we're going to be checking to make sure the trolling motor works the way it's supposed to. And we're just going to take a nice little cruise up the creek. If you like these types of videos, you like fishing videos, tips and tricks, gear reviews, you're in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, we're going to be doing a fishing spot reveal at 500 subscribers where I'm going to give away one of my best fishing spots in Southeast Michigan, where you will actually be able to go with the directions that I give you and hopefully catch some fish, either by boat or from the shore. So stay tuned. Let's get this boat to the ramp.
When you're setting up your boat, it's always important that you stop away from the ramp and get yourself prepped. It's also important that you come up with some sort of routine so that you don't forget things, and especially important things like putting the plug in. So my routine is I unstrap the back, I put the plug in, I take the transom saver off, get the boat ready to go. So once the boat is ready to go, then I'll move in position to launch.
They're saying the walleye are staging in the lake.
Oh, their buddies are out there today. They're at Cold Harbor. We can get them up to 8, 9 pounders.
Yeah, big ones. So I did a lot of work to it this summer. So this first trip out, I'm hoping everything works right because I plan on hitting the river tomorrow.
Where do you fish, the river?
Well, this is my first boat, my first year having one. So usually from shore. Well, I wouldn't say that, but.
Size boat you had before or what?
I've never had a boat before. My first boat. I've always fished from shore.
Pretty looking boat you got there.
Yeah, not bad.
Was that 16 foot?
Yeah, 16 and a half.
Yeah. I got one like that. How big is your motor?
50.
Okay, I only got a 25 on mine.
Yeah, I wanted a 50 because around here you got to be able to get and go when you need to.
Oh yeah. Well, good luck. I hope you get your boat load.
Thank you.
my goal here is to try out the motor, make sure it starts before I unhook everything. So I'm trying to get as close to the dock as possible to make it easy for me to get in and start the motor before I drop the boat in. Because the last thing I want to do is slide the boat in the water and then not be able to get the motor to start. So it's always important that you check your main engine, make sure it's going to start before you take it off your trailer, because it can be very hard to get it back on the trailer without it.
You just need me to hold this rope? Huh?
So I'm trimming the motor down now, and I'm going to attempt to get this thing started. This is a 2-stroke motor that's oil injected, and at the end of last year, before it was put away, we basically ran all the fuel out of it. We can do that on this 2-stroke because it's oil injected. You don't want to run the fuel out on a mixed gas motor because you can do damage, because the oil for the motor is in the gas. But because this is constantly injecting oil in, it's okay, and that's what the person at the marina told me to do. So we made sure we do that. I expected to have a little trouble getting this started, and it did give me a little bit of trouble, so like I expected. But I eventually do get it to go. So
Where's the rope sheet?
Starting to get smoke. That's a good thing, right? There it is, right? Or no? Why is it smoking so bad still?
Cold.
Did you do that or no? That's what I should have done. I should have looped into this one. Put it around here and then back up. Or not. There we go. Alright, you guys can get on.
Alright, give me a light, JD. Tie it around the thing.
You're gonna fit me?
Yeah.
You good?
So along with me for this trip is Kelly, which is my wife, and then my mom as well. And it's my mom's first time on a boat since she was probably a kid. And she's a little nervous of water, so she's a little uneasy. But you know, hopefully she'll get used to it and enjoy some boat rides with me this year.
My phone's in the car too. Did you lock it? They're flopping around back there.
I need to turn my lights on.
We made it about halfway down the creek, and my mom had had enough, so we turned around and headed back before her nerves were shot. The creek is pretty shallow, but I wanted to make sure the boat would get up on plane and everything would run fine. So in the deeper hole, I opened it up and put the boat on plane. I'm satisfied with the way that everything's working. I want to give a big shout out to Trout's Marine Service. They did a good job on getting this project wrapped up for me and getting the motor work done. We got the boat back to the ramp with no issues. Everything ran the way I wanted it to run. The fish finder worked pretty good. I gotta get a little bit better at using it and reading it, so that's gonna be a work in progress. But the motor ran great. It started right up when I needed it to, and I was fairly happy. Also, the trolling motor worked, and the Neewer network that I installed is working as well. So the trolling motor and the fish finder are communicating the way they should. This was an awesome little test before tomorrow, and I'm excited to get it out on the Detroit River.
Give it back to me.
What am I hung up on? Well, overall, that went really well. when I first backed into the water, I didn't disconnect it from the trailer because I wanted to make sure the motor was going to start. The motor is where we had most of the work done, and the one time I took it out, it wasn't running quite right, so I ended up going back to the marina for them to troubleshoot. Turns out it was a bad ground. They said they fixed it, so I wanted to make sure everything ran. That's why I put it out in the creek, because tomorrow my goal is to go out on the Detroit River for the first time and see if we can maybe catch some pre-April fish. So the water temperatures are a little bit warmer than average for this time of year. So I got the boat back. I left it hooked up to the truck, but I put the motor all the way down to drain the water out because it's going to get kind of cold tonight. So yeah, I mean, I'm fairly happy with the run. The motor ran the way it was supposed to once I got it started in the first place, but so when I first started it, I did have all the carburetors emptied out. There was no fuel in the carburetors. We drained it out, ran it dry, and because it's an oil injected motor, we're good because it's constantly injecting that oil. So coming up tomorrow, we're gonna see if we can record some walleye fishing. First trip of the year. I'm happy with the performance of the boat. Everything's working the way it should, and you know, tomorrow is the day, man. Tomorrow's the day dreams come true, because it's been a dream of mine to do that. So I'm ready. I hope all you guys are ready to come along. So thanks for watching on the creek, guys, and remember, get out there and live. Catch you next time.